So we're going to tune in, and since we have people new to us, whatever, I'll just say that the mantras are on the mantra card, and you're welcome to kind of read along and look along, or at least take a glance to see what they mean. But it's nice, too, just to sit back and close your eyes and listen and feel into the experience. It's one of those things that you can appreciate without actually consciously understanding it or knowing the details about it. Lean back into your sit bones, close your eyes, take a deep inhale breath, and exhale. Sigh out all the way down to the bottom of the breath, and then just settle there. Inhale to tune in. Om. Deeply, hold your breath. Retain the breath, full lungs, lift to the base of the body, press the tongue to the roof of the mouth, pull the chin in so that the line is long and strong and you can compress the energy, and exhale. Hi, Dana. Take a deep inhale breath then, and on Gudena me. And exhale. And see if you have a sense of that bubble that I was talking about, perhaps around your own body. Perhaps you can feel it around the group. Our collective container of presence. I am energy. And then please come to all fours. We will cat-cow the spine. We want to do that with some powerful pranic force. That means breathe deep and move rhythmically. taught a workshop on Sunday at a studio that doesn't have Kundalini yoga, a lot of power yoga, hatha yoga, those kinds of practices. And they were open and courageous and very willing to do cat-cow in a different way. And it was like the first exercise in the practice to get such a very clear delineation between two styles and two experiences. You know, that one encapsulated 3-minute cat-cow really illustrates the difference between other styles of yoga and what Kundalini yoga is about, which is the awareness and the use of our energetic current to generate, organize, and deliver ourselves into this dharmic path, this purposeful life that we're living. And so if you'd like to have a bigger experience of yourself, just breathe deeper. Definitely that tipping and dipping of the head kind of moves the fluids, moves the glands, shifts the hematite magnets and the teeny little crystals that live in us. So tip and dip, you're halfway through. You get that feeling that you're shaking the snow globe, then yeah, that's what we're doing. We're stirring up the energy so that we can develop greater circuitry, stimulate the numb spots, open up the blocked spots, and just move the energy. Well done. Belly down, chin up, inhale and stretch, chin lift. Pull mole bond. So see if you can find the pelvic floor and just pull it into your body. Slight little movement. Compression right at the third eye. Exhale the opposite direction. Coil the chin in. So you want to like pull so that you're lengthening the back of the neck as you come under. Find the mole bond. Find the pelvic floor again. And then flat the back. And rest back, hips to heels. The forehead goes on the floor like child's pose, but in this case, the palms come together. We want the nerve endings of the hands touching each other. And if your forehead doesn't come all the way down, then maybe a blanket or a bolster so that you get that pressure to the third eye and you feel the down regulation and the organization of the nervous system. That's it. Breathe all the way to the sit bones. We're going to work with the nervous system overhaul and then the Kriya to balance the head and the heart.
We've got a meditation for communication. Mercury is retrograde in Sagittarius, which isn't its favorite place to go, and then it like drags us backwards, and it could just be a dicey little holiday season when it comes to communication. But I think that one of the blessings that happens with that is that the truth be told, right? Like the truth be told. It might be a little less, it might be not quite as easy to mask how we really feel. It might be just a truth be told kind of experience. And if you've got some skills and some awareness, then you can come from a really compassionate place with that, right? You can come from your higher self with that. And you can say, like, no, I really need to speak my truth on this, and it's going to move this relationship in a direction that's helpful, because truth is always helpful. If you're unactualized, unrealized, unaware, then that can come out in a quite different way, and it might be hurtful. And we all have those times. You know, I caught myself the other day really impatient with someone that I care so much about, and have worked really hard to come to a higher place in communicating to, and I screamed like a banshee. And I was like, well, probably the lower self there. So compassion for self, compassion for their apology, and like a lesson learned, right? So like we can't possibly navigate perfectly all these things and get some sort of a straight A in life, because it's not about that. It's about, you know, feeling where those edges are and coming face to face with all of ourselves and really embracing the shadow aspects too. So knowing that we might have those kinds of experiences ahead, I brought us a communication meditation. So it will just put us in this navel center power, and we'll be able to speak from like some sense of truth that comes from deep within us, where we're a little more trustworthy when we're connected to ourselves, a little less trustworthy when we're disconnected and kind of out there in personalityville. Okay? So come to lie on your back. This is a great little Kriya because it starts in a little Shavasana here. It's a great little Kriya because it is constant breath of fire. So as you come to lie on your back, I'm going to talk about breath of fire a little bit for the new people. Breath of fire is the way a dog pants. It's the kind of breath that a dog pants. Except instead of with the mouth open and the tongue out and like a dog, it's through closed lips through the nose. So we'll just be pumping the breath. If you pump the breath with a really forceful belly, this is just rest, no breath of fire here. But when we do breath of fire, if you pump it with a really forceful belly, it's going to be too hot and dysregulating. So you have to just do, like a dog is panting, not on the hottest day, but just a natural little gentle in and out. So when we get there, that will be what we're looking for. Right now, you get to just relax everything. Bones heavy, muscles soft. Mind at ease. These are short little bits for most part. And this first exercise is one that we come back to. I like my hands under my sacrum. That helps support the hips for me. You might be more comfortable eventually with the head on the ground rather than the bolster, but you'll see how it goes for you. The legs come up, feet over the hips, and crisscross like scissors. You want the legs crossing back and forth, open and closed, one leg in front and then the other leg in front, and the breath of fire pumping. I'm doing it really loud so you can hear me. Yours might not be that loud, but it's just a flutter of the legs back and forth. If the legs can be kind of straight pointish, then that's good. You're coming across midline to your capacity, and that helps integrate the brain. This is a nervous system overhaul. So it's just for this neurological integration. This is our little in-between it exercise. So we'll be coming back to this crisscross. I picked this track because this rhythm is a really good rhythm of breath. In, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. You might find that you want to go half time, especially if you're new and it's not quite comfortable in your body yet. You get a lot of oxygen to the brain, it might feel overwhelming. We're kind of known for getting high on our own supply here in this practice. So feet overhead, and then right leg down and up, left leg down and up. Alternate leg lifts. Keep the breath of fire. If you'd like the foot to go all the way to the floor, you can do it that way. I find that it makes it a little bit easier for me. It's going to be more difficult with the legs straight, a little bit easier with the knee bent. And so the basic rule of thumb in Kundalini Yoga is do your best. So you're going to do what you need to do to keep yourself in the experience the best you can, and if you need a little break, then you take a little break and come back in. If you decide to take a break, try to keep the breath going and try to mentally see yourself doing the leg lifts. Because your body really doesn't know the difference between imagining and reality. So you could create an experience where you're continuing to lift the legs, even if the legs are resting. Strong mind, keep the breath. We're doing 30 more seconds. If you need a mantra, your mantra could be Satnam, true name. So the truth of you is that you're very, very strong. So if you say Satnam, 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 you're looking for that truth of who you are. You're liable to pull forward that strength. The personality tries to tell us we're too tired, we're too weak, we can't do it. Negative mind will throw that at you. Satnam, Satnam, Satnam. That neutral mind can see that you're really very, very strong. Okay, legs up and over, scissor crisscross, back to step one. It's only 30 seconds. It'll feel like a break. Breath of fire. Very good. Now both legs go down, both legs come up. Breath of fire. Everybody kind of finds the rhythm of their breath in coordination with their legs. Yes, you can do one leg at a time. Yes, I like to take my legs all the way down, take a breath in and out, and then bring them up. Take them down, breath in and out, and then bring them up. Like I like to rhythm it in a way that I'm going to be able to pace myself for a little bit more of a marathon, less of a sprint. So the master really can kind of figure out, can get that idea of success out of the way, and can kind of figure out we're just working with the opportunity. You don't get less of the experience if you take a little break or if you do one leg at a time, because you're getting all that you can out of the experience. Just keep the breath pumping. One more minute. And we're training the nervous system to handle a load. And we're training the mentality to mature beyond perfectionism. Perfectionism actually isn't a very mature mental stance. Perfectionism doesn't really get us to destination, whatever that success destination is. It's more a product of the inner saboteur. So 20 more seconds, make good with it, whatever you can. Very good. Crisscross, feet over the hips. There's one more little challenge set. It's a little bit like a workout here, isn't it? Yeah, I know, not so bad. It can make your core stronger. It can unravel the stress that you hold in the core. All right, the legs stay up this time. The hands go behind the calves or behind the legs in any way they can. Push the hands into the legs, push the legs into the hands. Bring your nose up between your knees and lower back down. Up and down. Breath of fire. In the instructions, it says come up to perched on your sit bones and then back down. Maybe you can do that. It's kind of difficult for me. Looks like Dana's got a little variation there. Good. Keep the breath of fire. Keep doing what you can. Chin tucked in, ribs lift. Try not to strain at the neck. This breath is called Agni Yam. They don't even say pranayama, they just say yam. Agni Yam. Agni means fire. And yam is that process of burning. And so you're just getting this breath of fire in this full, 11-minute opportunity to bring up the white blood cell count, stimulate the digestion and the metabolism, and strengthen your nervous system's capacity to handle the challenge. All right, crisscross the legs. Head on the floor. Last 30 seconds of this breath of fire. So don't miss out. Do it, do it, do it. And lie for Shavasana, just a brief rest. Close your eyes. Let your body shed. Recalibrate. Come into some sense of organic organization. Very good. Knees to chest, rock up to a seated. Find yourself in an easy sit. Be on a bolster. We don't want that one. We'll do this one. Be on a bolster if you need to, because we'll be here for a few minutes. That's pretty effective and efficient, isn't it? We got a lot of energy stirred up. The arms are coming out in this one along to the shoulder height. My wrists are going to be bent back. And like my wrists are bent back like I'm pushing the walls in. I can feel it. I can feel like a little strain to the soft side of the arm and a little burn to this front side of the arm. Like you want to be that kind of engaged. I'm going to extend through the arms because I find that it's a little bit easier when I stretch. Okay, so when the sensation starts, I will start getting heavy in the arms and I want to do this, but it just makes it more difficult. I like to stretch out. It makes it easier for me. This is inhale position. Exhale the pivot, the hands so the fingers come forward. Inhale, the fingers come up. Exhale, the fingers go back. So this is the 4 count movement. It's very distinct, one at a time. You can close your eyes, go deep inside. Use the breath so that each movement has its specific breath. And it's like a 1 cycle per, 1 breath per movement through that 4 count cycle. You're going to feel this rotation up the length of the arm. This is the Kriya to balance the head and the heart, and all of these lines from the heart go down to the hands. I did a little reel yesterday with a meditation between the heart and the hands and kind of clearing this energy. And this is like the potent exercise for opening up those channels. Inhale up, exhale forward, inhale up, exhale back. This balance between the head and the heart is the alignment that we need to be in that higher self of communicating our truth. Difficult the more muscular you are because the fascia really pulls and burns, but it's going to open up the energetic currents for you because the energetic currents travel through the fascial lines, and when the fascial lines get kind of bound to the muscle and corded, then we lose that energetic current and we lose some of the circuitry. The nerves kind of get impeded and we lose some of the circuitry there. So you'll feel it most, actually, the stronger you are. If you have like skinny little muscles like mine, you don't feel it quite as hot. We're doing 1 more minute, so see what you can do. Go to your breath, count on your breath. Trust the breath, just 1 breath at a time. too, the system gets a little more comfortable with that sensation. You can kind of work through it. You guys did a great job. Push the walls away, take a deep inhale breath. Hold and let the energy pressure down the arms. Exhale, relax. Shake it out, massage the arms a little. I remember years ago, and this was so many years ago, maybe it was 02, 03, 2002, 2003. I was an ultra cyclist. I did 12 and 24-hour bike races, and particularly my lower body was really muscle bound. And I went to an energy worker, and I was like, oh, I'm anxious all the time. And she's like, well, it's hard to be grounded when your muscles are so overdeveloped that way, you know? And I was like, well, I gotta ride my bike. I was just like, I don't know what to tell you, lady. I gotta ride my bike. So it was a long time until, things changed and I could really have an experience that felt more grounded because the energy could flow a little differently. Yeah. All right, that was just a nice little story to give you a break. Did it work? All right, we're good. The hands are going back here, but they don't stay here. Don't worry, it will be different. So we're coming to these same push the walls away hands, but they're going to come up on the inhale. And the first time they come up, they're going to be ahead of the crown of the head a little bit, okay? And then they're going to come back down on the exhale. And then the second time they come up, they're going to be behind the head a bit and then come down. So let me make sure I have that right. It's inhale overhead, arc up and cross, exhale down, inhale behind the head and down, okay? So that's what we're doing. I'm giving you the same rhythm so you can go back to the same breath and concentrate on using the breath just to move the arms up and down. This isn't as long as the first one. I'll usually start a little bit faster, and then as I kind of come to grips with the fact that I'm going to be doing it for a bit, I can stretch my breath a little bit slower. So see what you can do to really use the breath as the primary point of your awareness. And then some of the physical sensation will fade into the background. And then the most advanced would be to use that sat on your inhale, nam on the exhale, like a mental mantra. And if Sat Nam is new to you, maybe you just want to say, I can. Inhale, I, exhale, can, inhale, I, exhale, can. Kind of organize it so that you have something in your mentality that's an encouragement. And you have all of that awareness on the breath. And then your body actually secretes hormones to help you handle the sensation. The sensation has to be there for a particular period of time, and then the chemical release will start. So it's like the sensation is only going to get so loud. It's not going to keep getting louder and louder. It's only going to get so loud. And once you're there, it's like, oh, I can handle that. Then it's not going to go anywhere. You did a great job. Take the arms out to the side, take an inhale and push and lengthen through, and then exhale, release, and relax. Yeah, a little through the neck, I'm sure. This head to heart Kriya only has 3 exercises and you've done 2. This last one is on the feet. We're coming to a wide squat. The arms are doing the same things that we just did in the last exercise. When you inhale, bend the knees and come down. When you exhale, straighten the arms and come out. Inhale behind the head. Inhale kind of in front of the head. More breath. More breath. Let the breath move the energy. You're coming up through the arc line. You're coming up through the arc line where all those stories are held. And so you're clearing out some of that story so that the stories can change. So you can elevate your experience, you can elevate your relationship, you can elevate your conversation. Like every conversation we have is based on the past, based on assumptions and beliefs that you've kind of locked in from what's happened previously. And that's just a cycle that's never going to change unless you consciously ask to change it and remove some of the established beliefs. Arms out to the side and a final inhale. And exhale, release. All right, shake it out and come on down to seated. We're going to do this meditation for intuitive speaking and applied consciousness. And what it asks us to do is to find this navel center. So we'll be chanting the HUD, the Tantric HUD, and it comes from the navel center. And the navel center is like the energetic trigger, the energetic spark. Like this is considered like your solar plexus, solar, sun, right, fire. So this is like the spark, and the spark is going to spark the trigger, the energy of the heart that comes up through the throat, and the tongue taps the roof of the mouth in the HUD, which stimulates the neurology of the brain. And we're using this as our creative channel. And if the power comes from here when we speak, then our voice and our message has authority and it lands. It's like bullseye. Because you've heard the difference between people speak here from their navel and people who speak up here from their throat, right? You know, have you ever listened to someone and they're speaking from your throat and you're like, shut up. Right? But when you hear someone who's speaking from their navel, you know that they were really invested in what they say. This is true for them. You can trust them and you can listen to them. And if you are a parent, you definitely know the difference, right? If you've interacted with kids, they know the difference between this. That's not someone who's going to get off the couch and make it happen. But if you tell them, you know, with your navel voice, then they're like, Even my dog knows the difference between my navel voice and my throat voice, right? And my dog is a dum-dum and she listens. So we're going to chant the HUD from this low belly area. HUD, 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 HUD. All right? So we're practicing that HUD, and we'll do it plenty. We'll chant it aloud, we'll whisper it, we'll do it silently, and then we'll distribute the energy. So the mudra is that these fingertips are on the heart center with the fingernails touching. So the fingernails touch each other, and then the fingertips come here on the sternum, right where the heart area is. Not too high, too low, kind of right there. The thumbs point straight up. The knuckles kind of align and meet each other. And they're touching gently. They kind of curve right there into the curve of your bone. The eyes are focused at the tip of the nose. So adjust your head so that the nose points straight ahead, and then just gaze the eyes down to the tip of the nose. And that's a point that helps us focus. So that'll help you stay focused. The elbows want to kind of droop down. See if you can kind of hold yourself in a frame, that hands to heart, heart to hands. This is a neurological circuitry that we're creating here. Hud, hud. That's going to be our mantra. I'm going to bring it up for you. Then I'm going to get the timer going so that we chant it right. Hud, 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 sit bones, navel, heart, throat, roof of the mouth, into the brain. Now whisper. You're creating a connection between the navel and the tongue. So that you can speak your truth, and so that that energy always comes through. The truth and the compassion of the heart.
deepen your awareness. Listen for the sound inside of you. Now hands go up, fingers spread. Chant aloud. Look at your nose. Hood, 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 hood. Hood, Good. Good. Inhale. Hold, pull bond, stretch all the way through. Exhale, release. Now place your two hands, left first, then the right on your heart. And feel for the connection between your hands and your heart. See if there's an energetic pulse there. And then hold your hands out in front of you, palms up, knife edges touching, like you're offering something, or and like you're receiving something. And feel for the energy at your heart. And then feel for the energy at your hands. And move your awareness back and forth between your hands and your heart and your heart and your hands. Until you know the truth that you hold your heart in your own hands. Thank you. Come to lie. Come to lie for Shavasana.
Please deepen your breath. Bring your right knee to your chest and then cat stretch. Take a twist across. So right knee drops over to the left and the spine twists. Please do the other side. Right leg long, left knee in and across. And then flat on your back, bring your knees to your chest. Let the knees butterfly apart so that the flats of the feet can rub together briskly. Rub the palms of the hands, rub the flats of the feet. The flats of the feet, so the flat part where you stand on, you want those nerve endings to spark up. And then rock and roll up and down your spine numerous times, several times. When you come to sit, we'll take this little short meditation for a calm heart. Left hand across the heart, fingers parallel to the floor. Right hand like you're taking an oath. Thumb and index finger touching. It's called Gyan Mudra. Let the breath come in. Let it float at the top. Hold for a pause. And then exhale. Let it sit at the bottom and hold for a pause. And continue that square breathing. No stress, no strain. Very nice. Let's breathe together. Inhale. Exhale. Powerful breath. Inhale. Exhale. Last in and out. Give the hands a little shake and then bring the palms to touch. May the long-time sun shine upon you. May all love surround you. And may the pure light within you guide your way on. 3 long Satnams. Please inhale. Go with many blessings and remember who you are. Satnam. Thank you. Thanks for being here, Dana. So we have a very busy weekend at the studio. Dana, maybe you could come on Saturday for open